What is good with y'all? It's your boy Chris, and we're back on Spurs Spotlight with another banger.
Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
Alright team, today we're going to be talking Victor Wembanyama. There was a tweet posted by the Dunk Central, or Tim Bontemps. An anonymous NBA scout says Victor Wembanyama is not an impactful offensive player. He's absolutely awesome on defense and not impactful at all on offense. He looks like he's playing without a whole lot of direction. Now this take right here, I'm just going to say straight up, is very bad. This take has a lot of recency bias because he has been struggling the past couple of games, and straight up, it's just wrong. Now, I have seen a video talking about this topic posted by Kenny. He talks a little bit about the shooting on the Spurs and a little bit of the coaching. And obviously, those things are correct. But since he already talked about those, I want to talk a little bit about some other things that I think can improve Wemby's game. Wemby is very impactful on the offensive end. He just has to learn how to put it all together and be efficient and translate that over to winning. Some of that does have to do with his personnel. He doesn't have the amount of shooting that we'd like around Wemby. But looking at the box score, I think the Spurs do know this because last game they shot 47 threes, 36%, which isn't bad at all. I actually like this a lot. I don't know if this was something that Mitch Johnson mentioned specifically that he wanted to implement, but if it is, I like it and I think it should keep on going. Champagnie shot 1 for 6, which isn't going to happen every game. You also have Chris Paul shooting 0 for 6, which is definitely not going to happen very often. Everybody else shot pretty good. Mamu missed 2 threes. Keldon Johnson was 1 for 6, plus minus of negative 18. Now that's also something I want to talk about. With a lot of the injuries, we didn't have Malachi Branham, Trey Jones, and Sohan is going to be out, and he would be finishing this game. I just don't know about Keldon right now. I know I predicted him to have a really good season, but I'm just going to say it's not looking too good. I don't like Keldon Johnson out there in the clutch time. But going back to Wemby, the things I want to talk about today are his turnovers and really slowing the game down for himself, because I feel like he makes it harder on himself unintentionally. Because he is so skilled, he gets a little too fancy at times, and I think this is where his turnover issue is coming from, along with some other things. But let's just get into these videos and I'm gonna break them down for y'all. NBA, Adam Silver, please don't copyright me for this, man, please. So first one we're gonna look at is this bad pass turnover by Wemby. They're in transition and Wemby makes a pass to Champagnie, which goes wrong. Champagnie's cutting right here, and Wemby throws the lob. Now, this right here is what I'm talking about. He gets a little too fancy. You have to know your personnel. You have to know your teammates a little bit better. Now, Champagnie, he's got some bounce to him, but this pass right here is not the best play at all. I understand you want to get the crowd into it, but this could be an easy bounce pass right here into a layup, especially in the beginning of the game, trying to build some momentum. And that's just out of reach for Champagnie. Again, I think that could have been an easy bounce pass right here, and it converts easily to a layup, and there's one turnover off. And going back to the box score, he had 6 turnovers. He had the most turnovers on the team, which, I mean, I guess could be expected if you're ball handling, you're the star player for the Spurs, and they don't have much talent. There's going to be some turnovers, but 6. And the trend of the turnovers not getting any better is not concerning, but it's just a little frustrating. One thing he mentioned going into the offseason is he was trying to take advantage of simple plays. And this right here is just not doing that. But I think coaching needs to put an emphasis on these plays right here. And I would like to see them get on to Wemby a little bit more when he does these knucklehead plays. Not every time, because you got to let them play, but just a little bit more often. Now, this play right here are some of the ones that really frustrate me. He is 7'5". And this is the reason why I tell you he is an impactful offensive player. Everybody is looking at him. All eyes are on Wemby, right? He's catching the ball at the Frost Bank Center logo. You cannot be catching the ball way out here. I understand it's going to be at end of the quarter, but it's basically a 5-on-1 right here. They don't respect everybody out here on the perimeter like they respect Wemby. So they're going to have everybody else try to beat them instead of Wemby. Right here, I would love to see Wemby just give it up and try to run down here a little bit, because he's not faster than John Collins. John Collins is going to beat him to that spot a lot of times, and unless he pulls something crazy out, which it hasn't been working out in his favor, you're going to get ripped like this every single time. So I want to see him throw the ball down and try to reposition. We've seen him do this a lot of times, but like I said, with the shooting, they tend to just collapse on him. You have Mamu right here, who is a good shooter. Keldon Johnson, streaky. The only real non-shooter on the court is Blake Wesley in this instance. So again, this goes down to the coaching. I want to see them put Wemby in better spots instead of like just rolling the ball out. And I get this is the end of the first quarter, but this happens a lot of times throughout the games. Now, another thing that I think Wemby has to work on is when he gets the ball, he waits a little bit too long. Instead of getting it and going, look at this video right here. Look how long he waits after he catches the ball. So he has the ball, he's just standing right here. And he burned a good like 5 seconds just standing here. And then he kicks it and then tries to reposition. That wasted so much time. Now the defense kind of knows you're going to end up shooting this. And then he forces this up when you have Castle right here. Just some knucklehead plays, and I'm not trying to knock him too much for this because I do think it's going to get better with time. The game still has to slow down for Wemby. As crazy as that sounds, I don't think the game has completely slowed down for Wemby. And again, this could be a result of us not having shooters on the court because you have a double right here, and this happens to the Spurs whenever they send doubles. It gets the defense in rotation, and you see the Spurs often give up a lot of three-pointers. And so I would like to see us kind of do the same thing back. Instead of Barnes being over here, I would like Castle, and then you have a kick out to Barnes or one of these shooters right here on the three-point line. Anything but this shot right here. Just a bad shot. Something I do like, though, is Wemby coming up here, getting this high post touch. Look, right here. Looks at this defense, see if they're going to come double. They don't, and he goes automatically. He doesn't waste 5 seconds like he did in the last video. He gets it and goes, and I really like this move that he does. This one kind of was a travel. I'm not going to lie. You have to get it down a little bit more, but they didn't call it, so if they didn't call it, it wasn't a travel. And we got him quick move, decisive, and just taking advantage of the simple plays like Wemby was talking about in the offseason. Again, I don't know where the switch up came from the coaching. I don't know why they are pulling away from what happened last season, and I get that they're sending like 2 or 3 people now, but I would like to see him still try to stick to the basics and kind of just be a little bit more fundamental. You know what I'm saying? Not everything has to be so flashy, and I get Wemby can do these things, but when you play within the lines of the game, those plays are going to automatically come out by themselves. And so you'll have plays like where he crossed some dude up, did a step back 3, and hit those shots. You saw it last season when he was playing within the confines of the game. Those plays just naturally tend to stick out. And so this is not to poop on Wemby. I do think he is an impactful player. I don't know where this is coming from besides recency bias. But the Spurs will get it down. I do think we need to make some moves at the deadline for some more shooting. I would like Cam Johnson. I don't know. I can't really think off the top of my head right now, but for sure we need some more shooting and floor generals. But this upcoming season, I'm going to want us to look for shooting, which is going to help Wemby slow his game down and cut back on those turnovers and be more simple and efficient with it, because if they send a double at me now, I got a wide open shooter in the corner, and they got to respect everybody on the court. With that being said, man, leave down below some things that you could see Wemby tighten up on that will really help his offensive game. As always, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to Spurs Spotlight, and until then, it's been your boy Chris, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.